G'day legends, g'day superstars, it's Peps, and I'm here with the round 14 tipped out tips for the third bye-week affected round of football, if all of that makes sense. Hey, what a cracking game last night. Port Adelaide versus Geelong. I reckon about 15 minutes into the first quarter, I've got Geelong are on here, Port are a little bit under the weather. And as it got to halftime, you sort of had that feeling that how long is it going to be until Geelong pull away from this? Well, let's just say it wasn't Miley Cyrus coming out. It was Pokey. It was Winesy, Rosie, Butters, Pal Pepper. They were swinging on the wrecking ball. And did they cause some destruction in that third quarter? Blew the Cats away and had a cracking 38-point victory. So the Port, they are at the moment 11 in a row. Best record in the league. Will they be able to continue that form into September? Hey, for the J-Dog and all the Port Adelaide supporters, they will be clamouring for a great result. Anything can happen, but they are definitely trending towards a top 2 spot, and that's what you want. But once again, it's all kicking off on Friday night as well. The Brisbane Lions versus Sydney, Friday, 7:50 p.m. And that game is being played at the Jabba the Hutt. Interestingly enough, Sydney have got 7 out of the last 10 when it comes to Brisbane. But Brisbane have 3 out of the last 4. When I look at this game, even with the outs this week that we know about with McCluggage, Rich and Gunston being the main ones, I still can't see how Sydney with their backline and the way that they've been playing over the last number of weeks are even going to get near Brisbane. Now, I know the margin's saying around about 20 points. I reckon there's going to be a lot more than that, especially if Danaher and Cameron get a hold of the very, very weak Sydney backline. They are a massive chance to break this over by 40, 50 points at a minimum. So I'm definitely going Brisbane here. I don't think Sydney have got much of a chance at all. If they've got any chance of playing finals, which I believe they don't, they have to get this one over the line. But if Brisbane lose this one at home, the questions once again about the Lions' mental strength is going to be asked. And is Fagan the right guy? Are the players the right ones to be at that club? I can't see it happening, but we have seen stranger things happen over the course of the AFL season so far, 13 rounds in, being round 14. But I think Brisbane will win this one quite easily. Like I said, I'm going probably 40, 50 points, to be honest. All right, GWS versus Fremantle. Now, this is at Giants Stadium, Saturday, 4:35 p.m. I love what the Giants have got. The Giants, interestingly enough, it's a 5-5 split, with Fremantle winning 4 of the last 5. So you saw the GWS power years, the Fremantle power years. It's going to be a long trip over from Fremantle to Giants Stadium. And GWS have been playing some pretty good football. They've got 2 massive ins in Kelly and Taylor coming in. Fremantle lose Aish and Sturt, but Jager O'Meara comes back in after his week suspension. I'm going with the GWS to beat Fremantle. I know Fremantle are a pretty good travelling team, I must admit. They often win down at GMHBA Stadium. They do bond quite well together, but I just like what the GWS have been doing over the last number of weeks, and I've got a lot of faith in them at the moment. They outrank Fremantle when it comes to kicks, handballs, disposals, inside 50s, metres per disposal, marks inside 50s, and taking advantage of that as well. And that's why I'm going with GWS. I'm probably going by 3 goals, and I reckon Toby Green is going to have another one of those absolute corker games, which makes him my love child. So I'm going with GWS over Fremantle in a semi-upset. But when you think about GWS, it ain't an upset. All right, let's have a look one. Cracking belter of a game. Now, this is bigger than Texas. This is bigger than the John Holmes' front of his pants. This is bigger than 377 superstar Chris Pepper's resume of games. It's Richmond versus St Kilda, 7:25 p.m. Melbourne Cricket Ground. St Kilda need to keep their top 4 aspirations in check. They need to win this one. Richmond, to keep their finals check in place, need to win this one. Now, they're not going to have Mansell due to the suspension. St Kilda haven't dropped anyone at this stage, so it's an unchanged lineup. 6 out of the last 10 have been to Richmond, but St Kilda have taken actually the last 2, including close to a 30-odd point win in round 3 in 2022. I'm putting my agates on the chopping block here, and I'm going with Richmond on this one. Now, the reason is that I saw what Richmond did last week. They were sensational in the way that they played their football. And St Kilda, they've been good, but I just seem to feel that they're slowing a little bit. Now, I know a lot of people are going, oh, yeah, but St Kilda, it's on a bigger ground. It's in the elements. They're not under the roof. And thus, I just like what Richmond have to offer. They had a bit of spunk about the way they played last week, and they're definitely going to continue that one. So I'm picking Richmond, but by no more than a goal. And this is a game that could be a 50-50. So St Kilda or Richmond will win this by no more than a goal. You heard it here first, tipped out, because that's how you like your tips. All right, Carlton versus Gold Coast at the MCG, 1:10 p.m. Carlton's home game. 5 out of 5 for the last 10. The 2 last being with the Gold Coast Suns. The margin says Carlton by 14 points. This is on Wheelo Ratings, the best analytical site that you could look at. But when I look at the splits, who's in and who's out, I just look at Gold Coast and their ferocity around the ball, their contested possessions rates, their goal, the number of goals per game, their goal accuracy, goals inside 50, scoring shots for every inside 50, far outweighs what Carlton are doing. And I just don't trust Carlton. I normally go with my gut, and my gut says that Carlton will lose this one to a team that is looking strong in the middle. We know what they've got with Rowell, Anderson, we've got Lukosius up forward, Ballard, Sexton's coming in as well too. You've also got the big handlebar guy down in fullback. You know what I'm talking about. And I just think that they will get a hold of Carlton, and I just don't trust Carlton at all. So I'm going Gold Coast by 3 goals in what many would call an upset, what I will call the chance for Gold Coast to finally play finals after 11 seasons in the league, and Carlton to have more flame thrown on that fire, more fuel thrown on that fire. Sorry, everybody. All right, last game of the weekend, North Melbourne versus the Western Bulldogs, Marvel Stadium. Traditional home game for both these teams. Look, the Doggies have got 8 out of the last 10. They've won the last 4. The margin at the moment is saying 27.2 point perspective in relation to the Western Bulldogs. Look, Western Bulldogs have been far from convincing, and if you ever look who's probably been playing more consistent football over the last couple of weeks, I'd definitely say North Melbourne. I just think this might be a bridge too far, especially when the Western Bulldogs are dominating the stats across the board. Everything from inside 50s, metres per disposal, the number of contested possessions, the number of tackles per game, the number of goals per game, you name it, they far outrank North Melbourne. Yet, I would say with Sheasel, Wardlow, Davies Uniacke, Simpkin is going to be back. Davies Uniacke won't be, he's out. Hugh Greenwood's in, Kai Turner's in, Mackay playing down back, Larkey signing up for, I think, 6 years as well too. There's going to be a lot of things that people are going to watch this game. And North, I think they'll make it tighter than most people will think, but I reckon just the midfield size, and when I say not number of people, but just the bulkiness of the Western Bulldogs will finally take its toll and they'll pull away for probably about 4 to 5 goals in the end. But don't be surprised if this is the mega upset for the weekend. All right, there you go, trendsetters. That's my tips. Tipped Out's tips for a minimal round 14 of AFL football. Just remember, Monday night we'll be back with Lace Out, reviewing all the games for the weekend. It's how you want your footy. Tell us who you think. Get on our Facebook page. Join us every week. Give us a like. Give us a review. Share it with your friends. And more importantly, enjoy the weekend. I hope your team wins. Peace out.